Hi guys, it's Holly, and some of you may know that I am a huge fan of the 2018 to 2020 range of LEGO Harry Potter Hogwarts castle sets. I know it doesn't look like it by the state of my background and the fact that none of them are on display and they're all in storage, but trust me, I'm a really big fan. They're always the first Hogwarts castles I recommend to people who want playset ones, and I absolutely love them. To me, it was the golden age of LEGO Harry Potter Hogwarts castles. I love them. I think they are perfect. It's spectacular, and when the 2020 little modular range came along, honestly, at first, I was kind of a fan. I love the idea, but I wasn't huge on the execution. This year, things are looking a lot better. I love the exterior designs of them. The interiors still could be a little bit better, but the one thing that has always bugged me the absolute most has been the green roofs, and luckily for me, that is something that is very, very easy to change. Now, despite having none of the playset Hogwartses on display, I still have bought myself all of the pieces in order to swap out the roofs. Now, I did the same thing last year. I took all of the 2020 rave of Hogwarts castles, I bought all of the pieces, and I made a video displaying them and basically showing you what these sets looked like with the different roof colors, because quite a lot of you actually seem to, again, also really like the dark bluish grey roofs, much like myself. Some people enjoy the sand green. I am not one of those people. So this year I wanted to do the exact same thing again. However, I did learn from my mistakes last year, and I will actually give you the piece list in order to swap this out. I mean, basically it's really easy. You take the instruction manual, you find the pieces, and for the most part you just pick it in a different color with some very slight exceptions. Now, I do also plan on doing a video combining all of the current modular Hogwarts castles as well as just the entire Hogwarts range over the last few years, but in order to do that I wanted to have all of my roofs match up, so today I thought I would swap them out for you and sort of teach you how I do it. So in order to swap every single piece of sand green roof into dark bluish grey on the 2022 sets, these are all of the pieces you will need. So you'll need 2 of these giant cones, 2 of the smaller ones, 1 2x4 plate, 2 1x4 plates, 1 1x2 plate, 6 regular cones, 4 4x6 plates, 2 of the 2x4 slopes, 2 2x2 corner slopes, 4 1x2 slopes, some of these little spiky things, you'll need 4 of those specifically, and 4 of the grey ski poles as well. You'll need 14 of the 1x1 cheese slopes. You'll need 22 of the 1x2 regular slopes, as well as 13 of the 1x1 cones. That way you'll be able to switch out everything and do so to match your 2018 to 2020 wave. So I put all of the roofs on, and overall this was a really simple process. I just worked in different sections at a time. That way I didn't have to look up any of the instructions or anything. I could just sit down and swap everything out. And for the most part, it's relatively simple. And then when I was done with all of the green pieces, I just threw everything into like a small Ziploc bag. That way everything was contained all together. So I've sort of got it, mine's at least sorted by years. So I've got 2021 in one bag and 2022 in another bag. That way it's easy if I do need to go and pull out the green roof for whatever reason, but I just sat watching a show as I did this. It was really quick and easy, and overall wasn't too expensive either. I think it all depends on like where you're getting your bricks from, whether that be LEGO themselves via the bricks and pieces or new pick a brick system, or at least in my case I tried to find a brickling seller that had every single piece that I only had to pay for 1 round of shipping. It was a lot easier and a lot cheaper to do that. Okay, so it turns out I'm missing a few pieces. I needed to order 2 more of these 2x4 slopes. I also over-ordered on the giant cone pieces and under-ordered as well on these like weird sort of sloping things. I only got 2 of them, so I put them on the top here, and then I just didn't replace this one at the back, and I also just didn't put it up there. The other thing I overlooked is these like 1x1 sand green plates. I mean, that's an easy fix. I feel like I don't really need to do it. So, I mean, I'm definitely going to go back and fix all of these, but do keep that in mind when getting the parts for yourself. Otherwise, here are all of the grey roofs all done. So here are all of the modular sets, each with grey roofs. Now for me, I much prefer how this looks. Now also when trying to do this, I did make sure that I incorporated some elements of sand green. With some of the newer ones, probably could have done more than I actually did, like having some sand green cheese slopes on the clock tower, but definitely by just adding things like sand green, like ski poles, and even just having those cheese slopes really makes it much better with things like the astronomy tower, and even just the rest of the sets from the wave. One thing as well to note with all of these sets is that there's actually two of them that don't have any sand green roofs at all, and that is the flying lesson as well as the promotion. The girls' bathroom comes very close because all you really need is like two dark bluish grey cheese slopes. Everything else definitely requires a lot more pieces and a lot more planning. It also is a tiny bit time consuming to swap everything out, but luckily because you can just like take off the entire roof piece, like you don't really have to take the sets apart all too much. As well, don't forget as well that I forgot two of the 2x4 slopes on the bottom of Dumbledore's office. But everything else is really easy. There are some pieces that I guess you can substitute. Like I just put two small cheese slopes at the top because I forgot to order another one of those sort of like angular top pieces. You could also have like the textured half cones on some of these if you really wanted to. Again, ski poles you can have. Those little tiny like drill things. Rather than having them in like a shiny silver, like I just swapped them out to either be ski poles or these little like spikes here. Like overall, there's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of different ways to do this. I personally much prefer it because then all of my sets can match. At the end of the day as well, you could also then just like take the 2018 to 2020 ones and make the roofs green if you really wanted to. Like there's a lot of customizability here. This is definitely something as well that I will continue to keep up if they do keep putting out green roofs, because ever since they did the grey, I mean, that's my personal preference, and I know it's a complaint from a lot of people with this system as well. So here is how I did it. Here's how it looks. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel down below. And until next time, I'll see you later.